guys, it's Dana and it's time to talk about money. And in this video, we're going to talk about how to retire by the time you're 40. Let's get to it. Okay, now retirement used to be the age of 65. However, that's not really true anymore. Some people are working even longer. And then there's a lot of people who are retiring way before 65. So it's just a number, and it doesn't have to be 40 that you are choosing to retire. And maybe it's not even retiring, meaning that you're not going to work at all. It's just the number that you have to reach financial independence, meaning that you can kind of work on some of the projects or the things that you want to work on, and that you have no intense financial obligations or debt that are holding you back from doing other things. So you are financially free, independent. So maybe that age is 30 or 40 or 50. It doesn't matter. It's whatever age it is to you. You want to reach this goal. And so that is what we're going to talk about, what steps you have to take in order to retire at that age that you want to retire. Now, if you're trying to retire early and you have debt, it might feel like a total fantasyland conversation to talk about ever retiring, especially if you have massive amounts of debt, if you have student loans, if you have a very high mortgage balance, credit card debt, and you just are feeling like completely underwater and you can't get out of it. All right, so first off the bat is to eliminate that debt as quickly as you can. And that means don't acquire any new debt. So people who have made the commitment to retire early often do not upgrade their cars to the newest and fanciest and most expensive car. They drive a beater. I drive a 2005 and a 2007. We don't upgrade our cars. It's not a priority to us. That is not what matters. Also, wardrobes and houses. Maybe you make do in whatever house you're living in, and you just try to adopt a minimalistic approach so that you don't need to go out and purchase something that is twice the size. A lot of times we just fill the space that we're in. And adopt the mindset that every dollar that you don't spend is bringing you closer to your goal. It's not about being cheap, it's about being free. All right, next, most Americans save about 5 to 10% of their income. But if you want to retire early, you have to supersize it. You have to save way more than 5 to 10%. So once you have paid off your debt, or even as you're trying to pay down your debt, increase your savings. All right, so let's say if you save 10% of your income, then you could have retirement in 50 years. If you save 50% of your income, then you could have retirement in 17 years. If you save 70% of your income, if that's possible, if you're really going to sacrifice, then you could retire in about 8.5 years, okay? If you're looking at it that way, how many years do you want to sacrifice to reach this goal of financial freedom? What does it mean to you? How important is it? What are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to live in a smaller space and drive a crappier car and have less fancy clothes? Think about it. So have a strategic plan for your income. Many people who retire early, they have high income skills that they have developed over time. People skills that they've worked on to network and find ways to have extra income different places. They often start a side hustle or a small business, and they're working multiple things at the same time. They don't just go to their 9 to 5 and come home and then sit on the couch all night and watch TV. That's typically not the people who are retiring early. This is the time, if you're choosing to do this, this is your goal, you've committed to it, it's time to hustle and to sacrifice and to be working. And it doesn't have to be unpleasant. I work multiple side jobs and I really enjoy them, and I cannot just sit around and watch TV. I don't feel fulfilled if I do that, and I get antsy if I sit for longer than like 15 minutes or 20 minutes. I just need to constantly be feeling as if I'm being productive and moving the needle on something. Invest consistently and early if you can. So the more you invest and the faster and earlier you do it, the more that compound interest is your friend. So you want to try to get in the game as quickly as you can. If that only means participating in your 401k at work and, utilizing the match, investing up to the percentage that they will match, do that. Start with that, and then as you pay off more debt, then you can start to increase that amount. And so just be focusing on trying to invest as much as you can. Early retirees don't wait for millions. So know your number. What is the realistic number that you need to retire or to be financially free so that you can focus on other goals? Okay, so if you retire at 40, healthcare is still needed. Some part-time work does include coverage, so maybe you want to work some kind of part-time job or do some kind of meaningful work through a nonprofit where they do provide you with some kind of health insurance. Because retiring doesn't mean that you stop doing meaningful things. In fact, I discourage you from that, because if you retire and quit work and you say, I'm free, and then you sit around the house watching TV because you didn't get to watch it for the last 10 years, then there's a lot of studies that show that does lead to depression. And so you want to continue to be active, be engaged with your community and with others, and do some kind of work that is meaningful to you where you feel like you're being productive, because for mental health's sake, I think it is important. So is early retirement really possible? I say absolutely. If you are creative and you are committed and you are willing to do some sacrifice and you have discussed this with your partner or the relevant stakeholders in this endeavor, whoever you are involved with, you both are on the same page, then absolutely I say it is possible. I just say be realistic. And like I said, it doesn't have to be age 40. It could be age 50. You might even be thinking age 55, and come up with a realistic plan and then really work towards that. And I think that it's 100% possible, but I do think that retirement, it looks so different now, I think, for a lot of people. And it doesn't mean that you are not working. It's just, to me, it's doing the work that you really love and that you choose to do and that you want to do. And hopefully you're already doing that in whatever capacity it is that you're earning an income. However, a lot of people are not. And so you hope that you can do the kind of work that you want to be doing. And if you do reach that financial independence number, like I said, it just gives you more choices and options for what you want to do versus maybe you have to work a certain job. Maybe you loved it when you first got out of college and you started it. That's what the career you always thought you wanted, and you've been doing it for 10 years, but now it's just kind of monotonous and stale, but you can't quit, because it's very difficult to find equal income levels in another career. So you feel as if you're stuck there. So that's kind of the scenario that I have in mind when we talk about early retirement, and then having more choices to do a different type of work that you love. As you're working maybe that job that you're feeling stuck and bored in, maybe you can work to develop skills and get into another career of equal income. Of course, that's possible. I'm not going to say that that's not, right? So it's just kind of multiple balls in the air, trying to work different things and then trying to invest, reduce debt, and live simply, and to minimize lifestyle creep and upgrading things unnecessarily. All right? If you are interested in watching a video talking all about how to develop your social skills so that you can earn more money, you can go ahead and click here. And if you do, I'll see you in that video. And if not, I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye guys.